Match day procedures for team managers. Pretty basic about we need you to try and be as organised as you possibly can. Obviously, coaches can throw a few spanners in the works with late changes. Where possible, print off your 3 copies the night before or the morning of. If you've got a few emergencies and you're not sure about if they're not going to play, just leave them on the team sheet. Ensure all players are registered to the club in the current year. This makes it easier for us because player points are now being allocated, so we're allocating them between Monday and Friday. Clubs, we just want to give you a bit of notice that in previous years we've been able to access and do this on Saturdays and Sundays. Commencing this year, we're not going to be able to allocate points post 5 p.m. on a Friday. So if there's any players that likely could play on the weekend, just give us a heads up and we'll get them done prior to Saturday's game. Positions to be filled on game day: timekeeper, umpire escorts, can be the runner in the junior grades. Runners, we get this a fair bit at the moment. It's 1 runner per grade. So all grades, it's only 1 runner. Trainers, make sure they're on your team sheets. Water carriers and individual water bottle carriers, we just got to make sure that they're noted on the sheets. Scoreboard attendance for home games, live scores for home games, interchange stewards, home games, goal umpires, underage as well are required. Boundary umpires, if required, from seniors to under 18s. All clear to umpires, as we've discussed earlier, 20 minutes from the conclusion of the match. And ensure all people that are undertaking the task are aware of their responsibilities.
Simon, do players included as emergencies have their points added to the total team points? I found that in the past, and therefore emergencies can't be added in the team sheet.
That could be just something in AFL Barn where we might have to toggle across so the emergencies don't come up in your points. I'm assuming this could be more female, but yeah, I'm more than happy. Flick me an email and I'll follow up. Match day procedures that we've just drafted up over the last couple of years for team managers: an equipment kit, bring a first aid kit, goal umpire's vest or coat if required, coach's vest. Obviously, we're looking for juniors in this sort of stuff, so they can be identified. Umpire's t-shirts or shorts, runner's vest, whistle, timekeeper's clock, match day footballs, warm-up footies, spare football jumpers and shorts, water carrier vests, water bottles, hand sanitizer, paperwork kit, obviously the AFL Barwon handbook that can be accessed online once we've produced it in the next coming month. Match day paperwork, as we've discussed, can be found online, and the match day envelope that we will supply. And then pretty simple, just make sure you've got some pens on hand. Resources that are required for preparation for 2025, same as last year: Loco sportswear for all purchase of AFL game day vests, AFL Bar match day forms. We will supply links for that. Training football orders can be done through a link through AFL Bar, which we will supply. AFL policies are also still available online, also with the code of conduct. AFL Club help. Player HQ club training webinars and user guides are also being able to be found on our web, but also on Player HQ. And the Marsh pre-match checklist, the paper copy, we will have got a QR code, and we can send the link out to clubs as we normally do. Paperwork for home club, rounding back over some of this, but to be placed in the umpires room. They get there an hour for senior games before the game, but we want it there no later than 30 minutes prior to the game. We've discussed the current pad to be available, and that happens because of Wi-Fi and a few other things, so we might need to do the manual one. Scorecards for the goal umpires, best and fairest vote cards and envelopes on hand as required if the umpires don't have Wi-Fi, and video request forms, and for seniors only, that's an online link that team managers have, and we will supply those links at a later date. Additional task, obviously, the 2 scorecards will be given to the timekeepers. Interchange sheet, get a clipboard and some pens for the guys. Only need to record the start times of the quarter, at half time, 3/4 time, and must pass this on to the umpire so he can upload it with the match day paperwork. So it's up to the clubs. You do not have to go through every interchange. Some clubs like just to work through their rotations, but we only require who was on the bench, start a game, quarter time, half time, and three-quarter time. Paperwork for both teams. Obviously, both teams is to be given to the umpires before the game, with all the officials who will be inside the fence. Game, so it should be listed accordingly. An in-line drawn of players who are not participating on the game. So, as I said earlier, if you've got 4 emergencies they're not going to play and they're not going to take the field, then just put a line through them so there's no issues there with the umpires. They know who's going to be taking the field, or if there's any late outs. Jumper numbers, obviously, you know that I'll be ringing up and trying to work with you on this, but we need to make sure that they're correct. So the umpires know who the numbers are on the participating day, and so they mirror what's on Player HQ. Extra team sheet to be listed best players at the end of the game. With goal kickers, you'll need someone to record goal kickers during the game. And where possible, live scoring is the best one. So just talking about senior footy, obviously every game we like live scored, but you can do it in all the grades, making sure that you've got someone giving them the access through your club. Again, match day procedures, a representative from both teams needs to complete the match day checklist, so the marsh. So especially if there's only an under-18 game, get out there, do the check off and get that done. Team managers need to ensure the coaches kept to listed times of each break. So make sure that someone's standing there next to the coach, letting them know that we need to get these games going, especially early. Under 18s, we need them to start and finish on times, reserves, and we need to get the seniors away on the right time. Timekeepers must adhere to quarter time breaks, as we said, and use the siren outlined in the AFL Barwon Handbook. Umpire escorts must go out to the umpires and accompany them at each quarter break, at half time, full time. They must escort them to the front of the rooms. Both team managers must go into the umpire's room or a nominated official to get the all clear, confirm if there's any reports or video, request and collect any paperwork that's been left over. Some umpires may just take all the paperwork with them, and that's okay. They will then send the paperwork back to us via umpire training on a Monday night. Away team managers is to provide the home team manager with their best players and goal kickers. Home team managers to enter player match results, best players and goal kickers into Player HQ. And as I've said many, many times, Player HQ live scoring is advantageous.
Does the ground report have to be done for every single game in a match day? So if you do it for the under 18s, do you have to do it for the reserves and the seniors as well? Or is once in a day applicable?
So we'll just talk, because we're talking about the under 18s. So if the under 18s are playing the same side as the reserves and seniors, both 3 grades are the same, and there's only 3 games on, the under 18s can do the match report, and we're all good, locked and loaded. It's only when it's an under 16 where they're 2 different sides, and then the under 18s are 2 different sides, and then the reserves. So if it's all the same club, so if it's for a better word, St Mary's playing Newtown and they're all got the same games on, one's more than suffice.